Hello, I'm Terry Petrovic, host of the Straight Talk on the Home Business Radio Network. Today I'm here with a leader, a star in the network marketing profession. We're actually here at a Nerium International Leadership Conference. I'm here with Mr. George Wiley. George, thanks for spending time with us today.
My pleasure. Always fun to be with you, Terry.
You betcha, man. So what we wanted to do, my friend, is kind of share a little bit about what's going on with Nerium, and I could think of no better person than you, George, to kind of give the State of the Union of what's going on from Nerium's leadership standpoint.
You bet. Well, it's a lot of fun to be down here. Anytime you can go on a corporate event, especially to a beautiful place like Cabo San Lucas, it's just absolutely awesome. The trip itself is great, but when you're able to spend one-on-one time with the CEO of the company and all the top leadership,
Yep.
and everybody share ideas and really get your finger really truly on the pulse of what's going on. We all know what's happening in our teams and what we've seen and coming out of the summer and what we're excited about. But when you get a bigger vision, and that's a vision that you can share and take home with people, that's exciting. And I know that where we're going this fall is just absolutely, if last year was a major wave, this is almost like a tidal wave coming in. Coming off of last year, we broke a lot of records, which was fun. $100 million in sales last year, our very first year of business.
Not too bad.
No, it's awesome. And of course, what it did for those of us who happened to be a part of that, fantastic. But clearly what we've seen is really what this company has done the past 22 months is going to double just
Right.
in the next 6 months. And, so that's the exciting thing, is because I know you have a heart a lot like mine. We definitely are achievers. We want to have success ourselves. We want to have success for our families, and we want that level of accomplishment. But we're both really driven by, when we share it with a friend of ours and say, hey, you got to come do this because you really can be successful, and we want you to take this ride with us. When we know that we have the system and the company and the positioning and everything, that we know that when we talk to a friend of ours, hey, we really are setting them up for success. For me, that's really exciting, and being able to share the vision of what we've found out here, all the things that are going on with Nerium, everything that's about to happen these next few months. That's really what has me most pumped up, is being able to share with my friends who aren't here yet. Fortunately, a handful of them like yourself are here, but to be able to take that message back and really make sure that this fall just absolutely explodes for our leaders and gets them to reaching their goals and the goals we have in mind for them also.
Right.
That's what has me pumped.
It is about building a big vision, and we invite you to be part of our vision, and I want you to understand that here's a guy who retired from the networking profession at age 29. Share a little bit about your story and how you got started, and what you've done and what you've accomplished, George.
Okay, well, thanks. I got started back in the industry just out of college, and I was not an instant success like many people aren't. You've got to pay your dues for a little bit, and you've got to learn. And it's a lot like Jim Rohn says: in order to have more, you have to become more yourself. And so there were things I had to learn, and one of the key components was finding and identifying a great company at the right time. I think it's hard to ride still water, but it's pretty easy to ride a great wave.
There you go.
And when you find a company that's in momentum and you find a system, and that was one of the other key things, was what do I do 1, 2, 3 every day that's going to get me these goals, and is it proven? And so I learned about systems very early on. And once I learned about a great system in a company that was going through momentum, it almost becomes just self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, the momentum that you get and just the energy to go out there and continue to do it day after day, when you start having some success and you start seeing that success and seeing it's real, that drives you, pulls you. And that's what happened to me at an early age. And by the time I was 27, 28, 29 years old, making 6 figures a month, fortunately.
Wow.
And by the time I was 29, I had an opportunity to sell out and get out of the industry and pursue what I thought was my passion, what I wanted to do the rest of my life, which was show horses and travel. And that's what I've been doing the past 10 years, and looked at a lot of companies, mainly just with friends and take a look, but I never saw something that I really wanted to do myself, that I really saw. First of all, they'd be a company that'd be around the next 40 years.
Right.
Second, that it'd be a leading company. I mean, the past 20 years of this industry, we haven't seen a company that's done $1 billion a year in sales.
Right.
And I truly believe that Nerium is that company.
Yep.
And so then it just came down to, hey, I don't see myself doing skincare. You know, I did very well in
Cabo
nutritionals.
doing skincare. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I wash my face with the shampoo off the top of my head in the shower. You know, I don't know anything about skincare, but the business model was sound.
Yeah.
I had no doubt with the leadership of Jeff Olson and Dennis Windsor and the founders of this company. I also, our upline, the people who were sharing it with me, guys like Dell Williams. I mean, here's a guy who, his last company was Master Distributor, one of those companies that took a huge run at being $1 billion company. They got up to over 800 million a year in sales. They created almost 500 millionaires in that company, 496 millionaires created between 1996 and 2002. And he walked away from a huge check, huge organization, and he said, hey, I'm going to do Nerium. And fortunately, I was one of his first phone calls just because we had past history and success together. And I took a look, I said, Dell, I have no doubt that you're going to go to the moon. I have no doubt that Nerium's going to go to the moon. I have no doubt that Jeff Olson's going to be even more successful again. But I didn't see how I could participate.
Right.
And that's when we broke down looking at the business model, because we knew that skincare is the vertical to be in.
Right.
You look at the industry, and 8 of the top 10 billion-dollar companies in this industry are primarily skincare.
Right.
You look at, you know, just all the industry facts, the biggest checks in the industry, the most sustained, which is even more important because there's always spikes. There's always somebody who's really big today and then almost gone tomorrow.
Right.
But you look at the sustained guys who've been making 6 figures a month for 25 plus years, they're in the skincare vertical.
Yep.
And so it's like, hey, you know, I always thought that you just had to be passionate about whatever company you were with. If it was something you were truly passionate about and had a great belief system in, you would have great success. And that's true, but for sustainable success, you better make sure you're in the right vertical where that whole thing is going to sustain itself.
Right.
You're not going to go to the top and then a few years later, the company is significantly decreased and you're like, man, I just spent a lot of time, had a great ride, but now I'm back to rebuilding again. And I never wanted to be in that place again.
Right, right. So it is about timing, and what we want you to know is now is the perfect time. We are going into momentum this fall, next year. It's going to be amazing. And get back with the person who gave you this information and interview us. Talk to George, talk to myself, talk to some of the other leaders. We're here to support you. We're in this for the long haul. This is going to be a generational business. George, I must say, is going to be a new daddy pretty soon. So he's building something for his family, and I know you want to build something for your family. So my name is Terry Petrovic. Thanks so much for watching us today and listening a little bit to us today. George, thank you so much for
my pleasure.
Taking some beach time away from what you're doing. And
love it.
We hope to talk to you real soon.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye for now.